So you're asking me if my imam, my infallible imam, commanded me to, would I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, thank you. Now, you're honest, and I respect that. Now, when you attack me, does the Quran then allow you, and I hope you're going to be honest in answering this, and I think you are, because you're not ashamed of your religion. Now, let's say your infallible imam says, okay, go and attack these people in America because of their beliefs. Then you take my women folk captive, even married ones. Do you agree, per chapter 4, verse 24 of the Quran, Surah An-Nisa, that means you can then take my women folk, whether it's my mother or my wife or my daughter, and have sex with them because now they're your property, according to chapter 4, verse 24.
Yeah.
Say it. Wait. Yeah, what? Say it.
Yeah, I believe we can take right-hand possessions.
Good. See, now I respect you because you're not ashamed. You just admit in front of everyone that if your infallible imam says, go fight the Jews and Christians because of their belief, not that they attacked you, because of their belief, you would do it, and then you would take my wife or my mother or daughter, and you can have sex with them because you can have right-hand possession. I'm glad you admit that. So you just admit, even a married woman, you would take her and you'd have sex with her. Excellent. And you see why we despise your religion? If I come to your sister and I say, I want to marry your sister for 3 days, we go to the imam, we'll do whatever we need to do. But after 3 days, when I'm done with her, I'm going to divorce her and pay her money.
Wait, just one quick question. Are you a Shia Muslim? Are you assuming that you're Shia?
I'm a Shia. Let's say I'm a Shia.
Okay, so the ruling is if you're temporarily marrying my virgin sister, you must ask our permission. It would be up to my discretion.
So I ask you, and what grounds would you say no?
On what grounds would I say no?
Yes. Because Muta is being performed in the Shia world. So obviously there are people who are saying yes. So let's not play the game that everyone says no. So let's assume I go to a Shia family and I say to them, I'm going to marry your sister for 3 days and then I'm going to divorce and pay her. And they say yes. Please convince me you would be okay with someone doing that to your sister, or
if my sister's okay with it. If it's what this,
And you mean a sane woman would be okay with that? A moral woman would be okay with being paid to have sex with a man.
You have to get her permission as well as ours. I can't force her into it.
This is what I'm trying to get at. Which morally sane woman who has any decency would say yes to such a practice when the purpose of the practice is the man to have sex with me, unless the woman herself is a whore who just wants to have sex?
Well, that's the thing. This situation is not common. It won't happen. I guarantee
it's not common. You're telling me that in predominantly Shia countries where the Shia are the majority, it's not common. Who are you kidding? You trying to kid me?
No, I'm not trying to kid you. From what I know,
doing it in England. There are Shia in England. One who I spoke to years ago in Paltak is, I'm about to go do Muta marriage with someone who wasn't even a Muslim. It was one of these English women, native English woman. He goes, I'm busy. I'll talk to you later. This was on Paltak years ago. I go, what are you doing? I'm going to go do a Muta marriage with this English woman. You're doing it all over. You're doing it in England. You're doing it in America. You're doing it in Shia countries. Dude, we're not.
That's crazy. Because listen, if it's an English woman, it's not a Shia. So your whole analogy was that you're a Shia person asking another Shia person for Shia sister.
You know why? Because your Quran says you can marry Jews and Christians. Chapter 5. So you're telling me you can't do Muta with a Jewish woman or a Christian woman?
You can. I'm saying that your analogy is terrible. Yeah,
yes, you can. You can.
Thank you. That's all I'm getting at. So you just convinced me. You just made my point. He was doing Muta with a Christian girl who was okay with it because she was a Christian by name. Because a decent Christian woman who loves Jesus would say, the hell with you, you satanic bastard. I'm no whore.
It's pretty much prostitution.
Yeah.
I mean, how does that tell you morally? Like what Sam was saying, somebody tells your sister, your own sister. What does your conscience tell you about that?
Well, if I had a sister, I would leave it up to her opinion.
And you'd be okay with that. Honestly, before God, you'll be okay with your sister.
Say again that, please. Say again what you said about your sister. Say again what you said about your sister.
I think I would, if I had a sister, I think I would, I would probably see. First of all, I'm not even the wali. It's the father who actually has the permission. But let's say I was the father. Okay, let's change it to my daughter. I think I would probably look at the qualities of the man. I mean, I have that option as well. I'm not just. It's not just about
what
the
qualities, man. The guy's going to only be with your daughter for 3 days. How much qualities can he have for you to look at?
I don't know. I feel like you're very tight on this 3-day analogy.
Okay,
but honestly, I've I've never seen under 6 months. Yeah.
Okay, good. You're okay with someone marrying your daughter for 6 months and then divorcing her, paying her?
Yeah.
Come on, listen to yourself.
Yeah, because this can always lead to permanent marriage. There's no issue with this.
It's one thing to marry someone for permanent marriage. I'm going to marry her till I die, and it doesn't work out, you divorce.
Okay.
That happens all the time. That's not what muta is. Muta, you're stipulating a time period. I'm going to marry her for 6 months and divorce her. Now, after 6 months, I want to extend it for... Come on, dude. Be serious. Be honest.
100%. Okay, 100% honest?
Yeah. You okay with it?
Well, I don't really see an issue how this would destroy our religion, to be honest. But
it destroys religion because it turns women into whores and prostitutes where you pay them for sex for money. This is legalized prostitution. Okay, because that's what I expected. The Shia would go with a different age. But now in chapter 65, verse 4, how do you get around the fact? In your Quran, 65, verse 4, it's talking about divorce and the iddah, the waiting period. And there you're given scenarios of women who are old, menopause, who don't have periods. How long is their waiting period to remarry? 3 months. And then it talks about girls who haven't had their periods yet. They've been divorced. How long should they wait? And it says 3 months. So in this ayah of the Quran, even if you want to say Aisha 17, you're still left with your Quran allowing Muslim men to marry prepubescent, premature minors who haven't had their periods.
Yeah, that's the ruling, but we don't believe that they can consummate them in marriage.
Then you didn't follow the verse, because the verse says the iddah, the waiting period of such a young girl, is 3 months, where in 33:49 says if there's no consummation, there is no iddah for the girl. So you're not paying attention to the verse.
Now you're trying to derive fiqh rulings.
No, read it. This is about the iddah, the waiting period for a divorced woman. And then 33:49 says the woman who hasn't consummated sex, there is no waiting period. It's not a fiqh ruling. I'm reading the plain meaning of the verses. It's in front of you. 33:49, 65:4. Read 33:49. Is there any iddah waiting period for the woman hasn't consummated marriage? Read it for him. 33:49.
Okay, if you're talking that way, then no. As far as I know, I don't know. I could also refer to the scholar that I follow.
Here's what it says. Oh, believers, if you marry a believing woman and then divorce them before you touch them, they will have no waiting period for you to count. Give them a suitable compensation and let them go graciously.
Okay, so there's no waiting period for a woman you haven't touched sexually. But now go back to 65, verse 4.
And in the Arabic, it's the word iddah. It is the same word, iddah. So
65, verse 4.
And for women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months. And those who have not menstruated as well.
Okay, so did you catch it? The ayah is talking about you got women who are old who have no more periods. How long should they wait if they're divorced? 3 months. What about those who haven't menstruated yet? They too wait 3 months. Well, the only women who do not menstruate yet are premature, prepubescent minors. So your religion allows you to marry premature minors, prepubescent minors, and have sex with them and divorce them that someone else can marry. So now forget the fact I'm a Christian. Just say I'm someone who's neutral and seeking to decide which religion should I base my trust in.
Okay.
And here you're telling me your understanding of this document called the Quran comes from a collection that's written 300 years after the supposed migration of Muhammad to Medina. But even that migration, the date is dependent on these sources that are centuries removed. So what sources do you have from the lifetime of your prophet that you can document is from his lifetime that I can look to and trust for its historicity? Because the document comes 3 years later and it ain't going to help me.
I understand. I'll answer that. So the prophet, he said that he left behind 2 weighty things.
I didn't know he said that.
This is known as a mutawatir hadith. There are more than 100 chains.
Okay, friend, I'm not trying to cut you off.
Yeah.
This mutawatir chain.
Yeah.
You just begged the question. You didn't answer my question. So let's cut to the chase. You're now quoting to me a source that comes 300 years later, where it's multiply attested 300 years later. What I'm asking is, show me from the reported time of your prophet that he said this, not from a document or documents where you have multiple people coming centuries later telling you this is what they heard, the generation before them and the generation before them, what evidence do you have from the 7th century your prophet said this?
Well, the hadiths that are narrated in Al-Kafi don't all go are not, they don't all go back to the prophet. They go back to the imams. The majority of the hadiths are from our imams, and the imams are direct descendants from the prophet. Everything they say, it's from prove what?
You keep begging the question. Prove to me that these imams are the descendants of Ali by first showing me that Ali existed in the 7th century and married Fatima, not from later sources, but from the first century Hijri. I'm still waiting for this. You keep begging the question.
Al-Kafi is a compilation of hadith. It's
when did it come again? When did it come?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when it was released.
To you, it doesn't matter. To us, it does, because we're not Muslim. We don't share your assumptions.
I'm trying to explain
Prove the validity of your hadith collections that comes 300 years later, that we can trust them to tell us what took place 300 years earlier. So stop begging the question. I'm not a Muslim, so I don't share your assumptions. Prove it. Do you then disagree, as there are some Shia who claim that there were actually statements in the Quran referring to Ali that have been removed? Do you think that there were statements about Ali in the Quran that we don't find today?
Yeah, I can give you an example.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Say it slowly. You're saying too fast. Yes, you do agree, because we want to hear you. Okay. Yes, you do agree there were statements about Ali in the Quran that have been removed?
Okay. Us Shias, we believe that the tafsir, the understanding of it, is still a part of the Quran in a way. So, us saying we believe in tahrif of Quran, distortion of the Quran, could also imply we believe that the commentary in the Quran was distorted. So what I've actually understood from the scholar Alama Majlisi, when he said something was removed from Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, such as the ayah or the verse that explains that he is the commander of the believers, was removed, I believe that he meant that.
Vlad, say that slowly. Young man, say that slowly, because you're saying it fast. Okay, you just said that there was an ayah in the Quran saying that Ali is the Imam that's removed. So that's a verse that's no longer.
No. You didn't you completely disregarded what I said towards the end.
No, actually, I just repeated what you said.
No. You repeated the middle of
it. Just repeat it. Just repeat it.
I said the ayah, Alama Majlisi, he states in his book, one of his books, that an ayah, and by ayah he means tafsir. There was clear tafsir, clear commentary on the Quran for a certain ayah that Imam Ali was supposed to be the caliph. But what this ayah? Is tafsir. This is tafsir. It doesn't matter what the ayah is.
No, but hold on. You just confuse it. You just listen to yourself slowly.
I am listening.
You just said tafsir of an ayah, but then you said ayah. So now, is the tafsir the ayah, or is it the tafsir of the ayah? If it's the tafsir of the ayah, what ayah?
The tafsir can be part of the ayah.
Okay. Which ayah? Where's
I don't know. I don't know. I just know that the tafsir is distorted.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Because I have read that there are some Shia that do admit there are verses that specifically mention Ali that have been removed. But that's okay. Let's put that aside.
No, we still have them.
You still have those verses?
Yes, we do.
About Ali?
Yes.
In the Quran?
Yes.
Yes, there are many verses about Ali in the Quran.
Give me a couple. Okay. I'm not.
33.
Okay, read 33.
Okay, I'll read the second part of it, which goes along with what I'm saying. Verily, Allah intends to keep away from you any impurities of sin, O people of the members, O members of the Prophet's family, and to purify you with thorough purification.
See, you just did the very thing I've been asking you to prove. Number one, there it says the Prophet, and it says family. Okay, and his family. I'm getting there. Apart from these hadiths, how do you know who this prophet is, and how do you know who the members of his family are? Can you show me that from the Quran?
From the Quran?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
So now if you're going to tell me that the family of your prophet means Ali and Fatima and Hassan and Hussein, as opposed to the others, like the Sunnis would argue with you, and I don't care about who's right, that's your debate. What source do you have, and what date is this source that identifies who this prophet is and who are the members of his family? Give me the date of the source that you're going to appeal to. When was it written? What date that tells you who this prophet was and who the members of his family are?
The oldest source for this?
Yeah, the earliest one you have. Give me the date of it.
Kitab Sulaim, and it's earlier than Sahih Bukhari. It came out within the 1st century, 714 AD.
Give me the actual source that says it's dated to the 8th century. I'd like to see that.
So,
First century.
First century, that's Jesus's time. First century of what?
First century of the Islamic calendar.
So that's the 8th century. That's 700s.
Okay,
Give me the proof that this manuscript that you have is from that time. Not assertion. Give me the link. Let me see the document. Let me see the actual manuscript, the archaeological data confirming that date.
Okay, fight those who do not believe in Allah and the last day, nor comply with what Allah and his messenger have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth from among those who were given the scripture, until they pay the tax willingly, submitting fully, humbly.
Okay, now, according to this passage, why are the Muslims commanded to fight the people of the book? The verse itself. What does the verse say? The reason is
1 minute.
929. You just read it. Why are the Muslims commanded to fight the people of the book? What's the reason given in the verse?
Because they went against Allah and his messenger.
How did they go against Allah and his messenger? What does the verse say?
They didn't believe in them.
Thank you. I respect that. So why are they being fought? Because they rejected Allah and his messenger and did not forbid what he forbade, right?
Okay.
Do you agree? I mean, it's right there, the verse. I mean, you can read in Arabic for us. It's going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I agree with this verse.
Yeah, what's wrong with admitting that we don't have a perfect Quran?
Oh, so you do admit that, because when I said
I admit that. The Sunnis also say this. The Sunnis believe there's missing Quranic verses.
No, they don't. I agree with you.
Sunni Muslim, we were always taught it was perfect. That's what I was taught.
No, you didn't read the missing verse about stoning and.
No, we agree with you that the Sunni sources say the Quran is corrupt, missing parts. But Sunnis are taught, and we can play them, the Quran is perfect, every jot, every tittle, nothing missing, perfectly preserved, unlike the Bible corrupt. Okay. But you are Muslims and saying, no, there's no perfect Quran. But then earlier I just said that. I said, so
the only thing perfect is the message of the Quran, which is the message of God to humanity. We don't believe the book is perfect because, firstly, the chapters and some might even say the verses are not in order. That's one thing. What's this on the screen?
Oh, yeah, I don't believe so.
Sorry.
But yeah, we don't believe the Quran is perfect.
You're talking about Hafs. We're not talking about chapters and verses. We're talking about the Hafs reading of the message. Is the message that you find transmitted by Hafs perfect?
Well, I'm not knowledgeable.
We all we know is, or I don't know about just a layman, but all I know is that there are many nuances to tahrif, distortion, right?